welcome back to another video. I don't know why the lighting looks like that with like the little sunspot thingy. I tried tapping it. Anyways, and I'm not recording on my camera today. Okay, that's irrelevant. Anyways, so welcome back to another video. This video is continuing for my Amazon people. I'm just going to be talking about the differences between the Whole Foods and the warehouse worker. If you guys didn't know, if you guys are new here to my Amazon videos, I recently started working at Amazon Whole Foods as a Prime Now shopper. So that's a difference that they call like the Amazon warehouse people. You're just called Amazon warehouse peoples, and the Whole Foods shoppers are called Prime Now shoppers, or Flex, or Amazon Flex, something like that. Whatever. They use Prime Now shoppers the most frequently. I'm going to be explaining the differences between the two, what I've noticed so far. Just like, since I'm still a newbie kind of, I've only been working for about a month now, but I mean, I love it. Like, honestly, I think in some ways it's better than the warehouse worker, but in some ways it's not better than the warehouse worker. So I'm gonna get into like the pros and cons of what I think are like the differences between the two. So yeah, stay tuned. The first thing that I'm gonna start off with the good, because I mean everybody loves the good. The first thing I have to say about the two is, as a Prime Now shopper, I completely love it. Like, everything from Prime Now, you're basically by yourself doing everything on your own, and it's not like a heavily watched job, basically. So basically what that means is just like, people aren't on your back, like, you're not picking fast enough, you need to go faster. It's more of just like, you do your own thing. Like, yes, you still have a time period that you have to pick something at, but like, it's not like you need to go, like keep moving. It's more of just like, keep your same pace, but like, don't pick too slow, you don't need to pick that fast, if that makes sense. But like, normally what happens is, if you have an order, let's say the current time is like 8:40 or something like that, it'll be like, finish picking order before 10:30 or something like that. Like, it's a pretty decent time gap, and usually like the orders aren't really big, so I mean, it really depends. I think the most I've seen is 80 on an order, but what a difference is between the warehouse is, in the warehouse you'll have like several different orders at a time. So you have like 15 bags, and you'll be picking like several different people's orders. For the Whole Foods shopper, instead of picking multiple people's orders with this long cart, you're picking basically one person's order, and then you have like a regular grocery cart. So basically you're shopping just the whole time. That's just your job, is to shop. So that's what I do like, is basically like everything is by yourself. You don't have someone hounding your back like pick faster. It's more of just like everything is freelance. Also, so it's kind of different because I prefer to have like, okay, so the scanning devices we use are iPhones instead of Zebras. I don't know, just me being me, I prefer to have the iPhone. I think it's so much more like user friendly than like a Zebra, like a Android. I hate Androids. I'm sorry if you're an Android person. I'm sorry. I don't like Androids. But anyways, yeah. So we do use iPhones instead of like a regular Zebra scanner to scan our items. And I think that is so much better because it's honestly just easy. And also what you can do is you can talk to your customer. So basically, the customer, like, let's say an item is not there, basically it'll be like, hey, you'll scan the substitution if there is one, and then like, I always like to be like, hey, we have this one, or like a different flavor as well, if you want me to sub that out for that substitution if you don't want it, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I always talk to them, or I don't always talk to them, but like, sometimes, like today I got one, and the lady had texted me, and I guess it was a lady, she seemed very nice. So yeah, but one of the customers had texted me, and they were like, stay safe, thank you for all your hard work, something like that. So I always just open the chat just in case, but you can text them, which is something different from the warehouse, because in the warehouse you absolutely could not, like, yeah, you pretty much just don't even know who you're picking for. I mean, it's the same for the Whole Foods shopper, but at least you're talking to them. I mean, I don't know, but yeah. So you do get a little bit of customer interaction. So I love how you basically pick and pack your own bag, because in the warehouse, what will happen is basically after you finish picking, you basically just take your cart to like one of the packers, and they'll do it for you. Which in the Whole Foods shop, you do everything yourself. You pick, pack, and sometimes what they'll have are like pickup orders instead of them being delivered. So you have to do that. But I mean, it's not like, I've only done one of those, and I mean, it wasn't that bad. Like basically, you just take it downstairs, You ask them for your last name, and then you basically give them the order, and that's about it. So yeah, it's really not that bad. Overall, I feel like the Whole Foods shopper is very much more organized than the warehouse, and that may just be to like the size of it, because I mean, obviously you're in a warehouse and it's bigger, but then like when you're in a Whole Foods, I guess there are less shoppers. So I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I just think it's so much better than the warehouse. I don't know. It has its flaws. So getting into its flaws, I think one flaw that it has is... Sorry guys, we're kind of gonna switch lens here. I'm gonna record the second half of my camera. In the warehouse, like when you have the Zebra, it'll be like, if you can't find an item, you're supposed to go to a manager and they'll give you like a different location of where that item's at. Well, in the Whole Foods, it's different because there is like technically no stock shelves. I mean, it's just like what they have there on the aisle, or if they have something in the back. So basically what you have to do is you have to go to a Whole Foods, an actual Whole Foods employee, and like they have like a little barcode, and basically you'll have to scan that. If there's none like in the back, they have to go look, and like, or maybe if like you can't find it, like they'll tell you where it is, or it's another place or something like that. But yeah, so basically they have a barcode and you have to scan that if you can't find the item to move on with the order. So yeah, sometimes it can kind of be annoying because I think the Whole Foods workers like hate when we ask them for it, but I mean it's just like, what else do you want us to do about? But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Another thing that I don't like is that hours. I mean, I don't know if it's just because I feel like at the warehouse is the same way. Like when I first started, there were no hours, but as like I got into it, a lot more appeared. I noticed that with the Whole Food shopper, hours go so fast. Like it sends, like I have my notifications on, which you actually should have your notifications on for A to Z, but it sends you like a notification, like I think 5 minutes before the shifts drop, saying like how many shifts will drop, what day, what time they'll all drop, or whatever the case may be. So literally you have to set a timer. This is what I do. I set a timer and then like I go on the app, and then like at 14, like I think right when like the last few seconds, right when I think it's the last few seconds, I'll refresh it, and then I'll get the shift that way, because literally as soon as it turns 6:15, shifts are gone. So yeah, they do go by pretty fast. I have noticed that during the day, like let's say, I have noticed that during the day, if there's a lot of orders, that they will like send out like available shifts that way. So if you just need to work that day, or you just want to work that day, you can just go to the A to Z app and it'll be like find shifts, and then you just click the shift or whatever if they have one available for you that day. So that's another con that I don't like, is that the shifts go by pretty fast. For another con is if you like to wear headphones, even like your AirPods, like they are so strict about it. I think for the morning shift, which I prefer to work like the early morning shift because there's like no other people in the store, I love that. You can wear headphones when there's no other like actual people, real shoppers in the store. But when the store opens up, you have to take them out. But they are like very picky about headphones. Like I remember the other day, because sometimes it can be a little slow where there aren't orders. Like there'll be more workers than there are orders, so we're just kind of sitting there waiting for orders. So I remember one day, like a few days ago, I was on my phone and I had my AirPod in. She said, like came in, like the manager, she came in, she was like, good morning, and she came up to me and she was like, we were sitting on the stairs, and she was like, if you guys are sitting on the stairs, you guys can't like be 6 feet apart from each other because people have to walk past or whatever, and people will complain, whatever the case may be. And then she looked at me and she was like, I mean, even though you're bored, like you still can't wear headphones, like you can't wear headphones while you're working. And I was just like, okay. So basically, yeah, they're very strict about headphones, and basically a lot of people try to wear their hood to get away with it, and it just doesn't work. So that's the unfortunate part, is you can't really have headphones, but they do have the little Whole Foods music playing in the background. So yeah, I think that's it for all the bad things that I don't like about it. Other than that, I think that's like I love it so much more than I actually like the warehouse. And I don't know. Also, a pro is that in the warehouse you have like this long 6-foot cart with 2 racks on it, and in the Whole Foods it's just a normal shopping cart, and you just put the things in there, and it's like a little station, and you do it that way. So yeah. And they also have a thing, so there's no stowing or like basically receiving. There's none of that, because basically we're just shopping. Like it's literally a job where you just shop for 4 hours. So that's another thing. The shifts are only 4 instead of 5. Well, sometimes they're like 4 hours and 45 minutes, but I haven't seen a shift that's longer than 5 hours. So that's, yeah, it's pretty much it. Like, they're either 4 or 5 hours. But yeah, so that's another thing. I don't know if you wanted to work longer, but yeah. You're just there to shop the whole time while you're working, except for your 20 minutes. At my Whole Foods, they have like a job where basically, I think every 2 hours, she said, you're assigned someone, like a random shopper is assigned to basically clean up and restock like the, I guess, packaging area. So yeah, that is a job. I did it one time, and it's called like non-inventory or something like that. So yeah, it's really not that bad. Actually, you just pretty much just chill and like you're doing your own thing instead of picking. But yeah, you do that for 40 minutes, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching.